He vanished without a trace. No goodbye, no clue, no sign of where he went. Henry Beauchamp walked into the stones with a heart full of hope and disappeared into time itself. But what if his journey didn't go as planned? What if Henry didn't end up where Julia and William did? What if his destiny was never to reunite with them, but to change the entire history of the Outlander universe? Henry's story has always been the quiet heartbeat beneath blood of my blood. While most eyes were on Julia's desperate courage or William's innocent fate, Henry was the key, the one who risked everything for love and family. But the finale left us with a haunting image. Henry, Julia, and baby William standing before the ancient stones, their hearts pounding, their future uncertain. And then nothing. The stones roared, the light swallowed them, and the screen faded to black. That silence left a storm of questions behind. Did Henry truly make it through? Or did something, or someone, stop him mid-journey? Many fans believe Henry's time travel didn't go as smoothly as Julia's. The reason? Emotion. Every traveler through the stones must focus deeply on who or where they want to reach. Henry's mind wasn't calm. It was torn between saving Julia, protecting William, and escaping his own pain. That kind of emotional chaos could easily send a traveler off course. What if, instead of arriving with Julia and William, Henry was pulled into a completely different time, maybe decades or even centuries apart from them? There's one theory that chills me every time I think about it. What if Henry landed in the mid-20th century, just a few years before Claire's own journey began? Imagine the heartbreak of finding himself in a world both familiar and strange, with no one to trust, no Julia to hold, and no idea how to return. He might have wandered through history like a ghost, watching events unfold that he already knew, powerless to change them. But what makes this idea even more thrilling is how it connects to Outlander itself. Remember in Outlander Season 8's leaked teaser, the mysterious man calling Claire Mrs. Fraser in shock? Many fans assumed it was Jamie, but what if it was Henry? Think about it. Claire grew up hearing stories about her parents, Henry and Julia Beauchamp, from Uncle Lamb. Maybe she even saw old photos of them, faded, sepia-toned memories of two young people lost to time. So imagine Claire's face when she suddenly sees a man who looks exactly like the one from those photos, unchanged, unaged, standing before her in the 18th century. Henry might have been searching for his family for decades, trying to navigate the twisting paths of time. He could have crossed centuries, leaving traces in history that no one noticed until now. Perhaps his journey wasn't just about survival, but about finding his daughter, Claire. The moment he steps out of the shadows and Claire realizes who he is, that could change everything we thought we knew about her story. Still, one question keeps echoing. If Henry did make it through time, why didn't he return for Julia and William sooner? The answer might lie in the danger that comes with time travel itself. We've seen how the stones are unpredictable, sometimes opening paths, sometimes closing them forever. If Henry ended up in a different century, he might have discovered that returning wasn't just impossible, it was deadly. The wrong vibration, the wrong moment, the wrong thought, and the stones could destroy him completely. So what would Henry do, trapped in another era with no way back? He would do what Beauchamps always do, adapt, survive, and keep searching. Maybe he sought out the few who understood time travel, Master Raymond, for instance. Their connection could be deeper than anyone realizes. If Henry found Raymond, he might have learned about the secret rules of time, rules even Claire doesn't fully understand yet. And maybe, through Raymond, Henry uncovered something horrifying. That changing fate always comes with a price. That realization could have turned Henry's mission into something much bigger than finding Julia. He might have learned that his family survival is tied to the stability of time itself, that one wrong reunion could shatter everything. That's why, even if he found a way to see Claire, he might have stayed hidden, protecting her from a danger she didn't even know existed. It's heartbreaking to imagine Henry watching his daughter from afar, maybe even being the unseen hand that saved her more than once without her ever realizing it. Could he have been the stranger who warned her in Season 1's very first episode, the one standing near Craigna Dun before she traveled? Fans have debated that for years. But what if that man was Henry all along, trying one last time to keep his daughter from repeating his fate? Henry's disappearance isn't just a cliffhanger, it's a turning point. It connects the past and future, Julia's love and Claire's destiny, and even ties together Blood of My Blood with the final chapter of Outlander. But if Henry is alive, lost in time, and still searching, then the story isn't just about where he went, it's about whether he'll ever make it home. And that question, that painful, beautiful uncertainty, might be the heartbeat of Season 2 if Henry truly survived the passage through the stones. Then where he landed could change everything we know about the Outlander universe. Time travel in this world has never been simple. It's wild, unpredictable, and shaped by emotion. And Henry, at that moment, wasn't calm or focused. He was desperate, terrified, and full of love and fear all at once. The kind of energy doesn't open the right door, it tears open the wrong one. So what if Henry didn't end up in the same timeline as Julia and William? What if the stones sent him somewhere completely different, not by accident, but by design? Some fans believe the stones aren't random at all. They respond to purpose, to what the traveler needs, not what they want. Henry wanted to save his family, but maybe time decided that to truly protect them, he had to be somewhere else entirely. Imagine this. Instead of arriving in the 18th century like Julia, Henry could have been thrown into the early 20th century, a time full of war, secrets, and the rise of forces that would one day shape Claire's world. He might have landed in the 1930s, a lost man with no records, no home, and no understanding of how the world changed so quickly. Maybe he took a false name, lived quietly, and tried to understand the new rules of time. And in that loneliness, he could have met someone who recognized him, someone who knew what he was. Master Raymond. Every theory seems to lead back to him. The mysterious healer, the traveler, the one who moves between centuries as if time itself bends around him. If Henry found Raymond, that could explain how he survived and why he didn't immediately return. Raymond could have told him the truth, that the timeline was fragile, that Julia and William's survival depended on him not interfering. That knowledge would have destroyed him. Imagine Henry, living with the unbearable truth that he could save his wife and child, but doing so might erase them from existence entirely. So he waits. He hides. He becomes a ghost in time. Now, think about the hints Outlander has already given us. In Season 7, when Claire met Raymond again, he asked her for forgiveness, but never said why. What if that apology wasn't for something he did to her, but for something he did to Henry? Maybe he's the one who stopped Henry from crossing back, sealing him in another era for the sake of time's balance. If that's true, Raymond's guilt runs deeper than we ever imagined. But here's where things get truly spine-chilling. There's a theory that Henry never left the 20th century at all, that he became one of the many watchers of time. In ancient tales, Raymond's kind were said to leave behind guardians, travelers who kept balance between past and future. What if Henry became one of them? He could have been the unseen protector watching over Claire her entire life. Maybe it was Henry who guided Uncle Lamb toward archaeology, steering him toward the very stones that would one day call Claire home. That would mean Claire's entire destiny, her journey through time, her meeting with Jamie, her becoming a healer, was all part of Henry's silent plan. Every twist of her story could trace back to him. Still, there's a darker side to this theory. If Henry became trapped in time, his body might not have aged normally. Like Raymond, he could have gained the strange gift of agelessness, walking through decades without change. Imagine the pain of watching generations pass, knowing he can't reveal who he is, watching his own daughter grow, marry, and disappear into time, just like he once did. The question is, did he ever try to reach her? Maybe he did. That mysterious man Claire saw near the stones before she first traveled, Many fans have always wondered who he was. He wore traditional Scottish clothes, but his face was never clear. Some said it was Jamie's ghost, but what if it wasn't? What if it was Henry, finally finding the moment he could cross paths with his daughter before losing her forever to the same stones that took him? It's a haunting image, a father standing just a few feet away, unable to speak, unable to stop her, watching history repeat itself. He knows that if he interferes, the chain will break. So he lets her go, trusting that fate will lead her to the same kind of love he once had with Julia. That is what makes Henry's story so tragic. He isn't just a missing man, he's a prisoner of time, a victim of destiny. Every heartbeat of his life could be tied to ensuring his family's survival, even if it meant sacrificing his own happiness. But what happens in Blood of My Blood season 2 might finally set him free. If Raymond reappears, if Julia begins to uncover clues about Henry's fate, we might finally see the two timelines collide. The stones could open again, not by accident, but because they were always meant to bring the Beauchamp family together one last time. Still, not everyone wants that reunion to happen. Remember Archbug, Simon Fraser, and the shadowy forces that haunted Henry and Julia's steps? If any of them have ties to the same ancient knowledge as Raymond, they might do anything to stop Henry from returning. Because Henry doesn't just carry love in his heart, he carries secrets of time that could destroy everything. Season 2 could be the season when the truth about Henry finally comes to light. And when it does, the entire timeline, Claire's life, Jamie's fate, even the world of Outlander itself, might never be the same again. Every unanswered question in Blood of My Blood points back to one man, Henry Beauchamp. His disappearance is not just a mystery. It's a key that unlocks the deeper, hidden roots of the entire Outlander saga. For so long, fans believed that the story began with Claire. But what if Claire's journey was only the continuation of Henry's? What if every heartbeat of her fate was written long before she ever touched the stones? If Season 2 finally reveals what happened to Henry, then we might witness one of the most emotional reunions in television history, or the most devastating twist yet. Because let's face it, time in this universe never gives without taking something back. Let's start with what could be the truth behind his vanishing. The stones are known to respond to something more powerful than mere blood. The Beauchamps carry a rare connection to time itself, something that may have started with Master Raymond and carried through his descendants. If Henry truly has that ancient bloodline, then his journey wasn't just random. He could have been pulled through time because he was meant to, because his actions would shape everything that came after. Imagine this. When Henry touched the stones, his body didn't just travel through time, his consciousness split. One part of him sent forward, another backward, caught between centuries. That would explain why his presence feels scattered across history. Ghosts, visions, echoes, all could be fragments of Henry trying to find his way back together. It might even explain why Claire sometimes senses she's being watched or guided. Perhaps it's not fate at all, but her father's fragmented soul, still protecting her across time. Now, let's talk about what happens if Henry finally finds a way to return. If the stones open again in Season 2, it won't be by accident. Julia's grief, her endless search for her husband, might be the spark that brings him back. But when he returns, he may not be the same man. Imagine Henry stepping through, older, colder, carrying the weight of centuries, his eyes haunted, his heart scarred by time itself. He might bring knowledge that could change everything the Frasers believe about time travel. He could reveal that the stones aren't just natural. They're connected to an ancient order of keepers, people like Raymond who have guarded time's balance for centuries. And Henry might have become one of them. If that's true, his return wouldn't just be a reunion, it would be a warning. He could tell Julia that their love, as powerful as it is, might be the very thing breaking the balance of time. That every moment they try to change, every attempt to save each other, causes ripples that grow into storms. Maybe the chaos of the Jacobite rebellion, the endless tragedies of the Fraser line, are all side effects of those ripples. So the question becomes, will Henry risk destroying time itself to reunite his family? Or will he sacrifice his own existence to save them all? There's another powerful theory, one that could completely rewrite everything we thought we knew. What if Henry did reunite with his family, but not in the way we expect? What if Henry, unable to find Julia or William in his own time, met someone else instead? Someone who would carry his legacy into the future. Some fans believe that Henry could have been the one to influence the Fraser bloodline directly. The resemblance between Henry and Jamie Fraser has always been striking. Their courage, their fierce loyalty, even their deep moral strength. Could it be that Henry's long journey through time eventually led him to the 17th or early 18th century, where he crossed paths with the ancestors of Jamie himself? If so, the Beauchamp and Fraser bloodlines might be more intertwined than anyone realized. That would mean Claire and Jamie's love story was destined long before they ever met. Written by time itself, born from Henry's sacrifice and Julia's devotion. Two souls, centuries apart, forever linked by the choices of one man who vanished into history. Still, the story could end in heartbreak. If Henry finally returns, his reunion with Julia and William might come at a terrible cost. Perhaps the only way to restore time's balance is for Henry to give up his existence completely, to close the loop he accidentally opened. That kind of ending would echo through every corner of Outlander, reminding us that in this world, love is eternal but never without pain. But even if Henry disappears again, I believe his legacy will live on through Claire. Every time she heals, every time she defies fate to protect those she loves, she carries a piece of him with her. The courage, the compassion, the will to fight for what seems impossible. Henry might be gone from the world, but his spirit burns in every act of bravery his daughter makes. So when Blood of My Blood Season 2 arrives, expect the story to dive deeper into the unseen layers of time, where love becomes a weapon, memory becomes a curse, and destiny is rewritten one heartbeat at a time. We may finally learn not just where Henry went, but why he had to go. Because in the end, Henry's journey isn't just about loss, it's about legacy. He might be the bridge between generations, the man who walked through time so his daughter could change it. And when the truth is finally revealed, one thing will be clear. Henry Beauchamp didn't vanish. He became the thread that binds the entire Outlander universe together. The question now is, will Julia, William, and Claire ever discover the full truth before it's too late? Or will Henry's secret remain buried in time forever? Let me know. What do you believe happened to Henry? Could he still be alive, hidden in another century? Or did he make the ultimate sacrifice to protect the ones he loved most? Theories are about to explode once Season 2 begins, and one thing's for sure. The past is far from over.